Alright guys, it's Darrell back at you again. I don't know why I said that. Kind of sounds cool. But with Project Sketch here on Map TV. What we're going to do is some simple shading. This is Shading 101. But before we start shading, I want to go over some key principles to shading. Got it right over here on my magic whiteboard. So I've got right here, tones. Simple as that. Tones. We have our 4 tones. White, light, medium, and dark. Those are the 4 categories that we're going to split up for shading. In some things you could add black to that, but we're just going to simply go from white all the way to dark. Next is gradient. That talks about the transitioning from white to dark. Also, that is created by light. Light is a key factor whenever you are shading. So anything closest to the light is white. Anything furthest is dark. Now the key word that I want to go over right here, shading is all about pressure. All about pressure. So if I were to shade something that's light, I'm going to use my pencil, and with nice even strokes, I'm just going to go ahead and simply just apply a very light pressure. Next, medium, you just go a little more. Dark, you would color in all the way. Okay? So shading is all about pressure. So that's our key vocab for any shading of any shape that we're going to do. Tones, gradient, light and shadow, and pressure. Let's start shading. The first shape we're going to start shading is our sphere. Right now, if you look at it, it looks pretty much like a circle. There's no dimension to it. That means, remember, this right here is 2D. Our goal is to make it 3D for a 3D shape dictionary. Now, here's how we're going to do that. We're going to apply the things we learned right here to our sphere. Let's go ahead and start. Number 1, we need to determine where the light's coming from. Put a nice little L right here, which means the light is coming from the top right-hand side. Let's go ahead and start. All right. Let's look at the middle of our circle at the top right here. If we were to cut the circle in half, remember every shape is pretty much symmetrical, meaning even on both sides. Here we go. I'm going to mark a big red dot right here so you can see at home. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to go to the left a little bit. I want you to mark a dot there. Next, we're going to go ahead and go a little bit more, and I want you to mark a dot there. So we've got 3 dots right here on our left-hand side. Now, your ruler is going to come in handy. Not for drawing straight lines, but we're going to use it. Here's what I want you to do. You're going to take your ruler to the first dot, and I want you to just place it at an angle. We talked about angles in one of the videos. So I want you to kind of draw it over. You're not going to draw a line. You're just going to place your ruler right over and make a dot on the side of the circle that it meets. Next, you're going to go over to the next dot. Same thing. My ruler's not big enough. Your ruler's probably big enough for your paper at home. You're going to place your ruler down, and wherever it connects over here on the right side of the circle, place a dot. Same thing, this side, place your ruler down, put it towards the right-hand side of the circle, and place a dot. Alright, so we have 6 new dots for our 3D shape. Now that we've placed our dots on our circle, well, it's a sphere, looks like a circle, we're about to give it some depth right now. We're going to go ahead and divide up our key tones right here, white, light, medium, and dark. So here we go. Now remember, toss that ruler aside now because you don't need it. This is a round object. It's a sphere. Most people make a mistake and they draw straight lines across and then start shading it. That's not what you're going to do. The whole goal is to make it look like a round object. So that means our lines need to curve. So let's divide up our categories right now for shading. So basically you're going to follow me dot to dot, and we're going to be doing dashed lines. So let's start on our top dot. I'm going to go to the right hand side. So from dot to dot, what I want you to do is we're going to put a nice rainbow or smiley face line. We talked about rainbows and smiley face. Hey, art's all fun, so it's rainbows and smiles. Right there, we're going to be doing a smiley face. Next, we're going to go to the left-hand side to our next dot. Same thing. From dot to dot, the one that's straight across. Remember, not a straight line. We're going to do a dashed line that curves. Smiley face. Here we go. So I'm going to put my smiley face right there. Perfect. Awesome. Next, I'm going to go down left-hand side. Our next dot, from dot to dot. Nice curved line. Boom. Now we've got our 4 tones for shading. Gonna label them white, light, medium, and dark. Remember, anything closer to the light would be white. And then we transition and we create a gradient going from light, so white, to light, to medium, and dark. The darkest, which is further away from the light. So we're gonna label those right now. And dark. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead, you're gonna start shading. We talked about pressure. Light means a lighter pressure, softer, medium. You're gonna go a little more with the pencil, and the dark, you're gonna color it in a lot. Here's what I want, nice smooth strokes that go along that curve. Go ahead, start shading your sphere. I'm sure it's gonna come out great. All right, you should be done shading your sphere at home. Hopefully you gave it that nice round depth so it actually looks, instead of like a circle, like a sphere. Hey, on to the next shape.